I want you to think back to your earliest Minecraft experiences for just a moment. Loading up your first world and messing around in this yet-to-be-explored game. Building a cozy wood home, taming a dog, and just hanging out with your friends. Those warm and nostalgic memories you have are shared among pretty much every Minecraft player, no matter what console or device they got their start on. I played on the Xbox 360 instead of the PC, and I loved it just the same as everyone else. It really didn't matter back then. Minecraft was Minecraft. It was great no matter how you played. But it's not like that anymore. What happened? Now, if you couldn't tell, I'm very passionate about everything Minecraft, and something that has always stuck out to me was the Bedrock Edition of the game, which is the version found on mobile devices and consoles. When I was a kid, it was normal to play the game on your phone or Xbox 360, and everyone in my bubble always remembers those versions of Minecraft to be great. So why is that no longer the case? Why are the versions found on mobile and consoles no longer seen as valid ways of playing Minecraft? Today, I really wanted to explore this question and take a deep dive into the good, the bad, and the ugly sides of Minecraft Bedrock Edition. When people play Bedrock for the first time, I always hear the same comments. The movement is weird, it looks weird, you're weird! And honestly, they're not entirely wrong. Survival on Bedrock is worse than Java Edition in almost every way possible. There are a couple of things that Bedrock Survival has that I like, such as a harder wither fight, but that really doesn't make up for how terrible this game feels to play on the vanilla-based game. Like, don't even get me started on how awful the vanilla combat is, and although I've always preferred the Bedrock movement, I could understand why a Java veteran would think it's weird and hate it. Momentum doesn't affect how you move very much on Bedrock, which makes it very different. Bedrock is also missing a lot of the features that Java has. As a consequence of being a mobile version of Minecraft, it has to be dumbed down a lot because some of the things Java players can do would just be awkward or impossible to do on a phone. The biggest example of this in my eyes would be the offhand. Now, Bedrock has an offhand, but only a few items can actually be used in it. You can hold shields and totems, sure, but you can't do things like play with blocks in your offhand or place torches while mining because realistically, how would a mobile player do that? There's also some minor differences like not being able to use hotkeys to organize your inventory, no toggle sprint without a client, and not having a tab menu to display extra information. But forget all of that because the biggest difference in my opinion, Big Salmon! That alone has redeemed Bedrock in my eyes. But in all honesty, if you don't have any mods, add-ons, or plugins to make survival better, then Java wins by a landslide. It makes sense why a lot of the people dedicated to vanilla and survival Minecraft would hate Bedrock Edition so much and see it as an inferior version of Java Edition. Because other than the Big Salmon, it kinda is. And you can't talk about the bad of Bedrock Edition without mentioning the marketplace. This thing is terrible. Again, just like with Survival, there are some good things to it. Maps and add-ons made by reputable companies such as Nox Crew and Game Mode 1 are incredible and worth every penny. It's also awesome that people who make content for Minecraft actually get paid for their work, unlike pack makers and modders on the Java scene. But there's so much garbage on the marketplace that it kinda brings the whole thing down and makes it an easy target for people to pick at. I actually bought a map from the marketplace once. It was supposed to be like a ripoff of the Roblox game Doors, but instead of 100 rooms to go through, there's 500! Now, my experience with this map was simply put, terrible. It was repetitive, boring, and buggy. It made me realize that most things on here, no matter how cool they may seem, are just a way for someone to legally rob money from little children. And me, I guess. Subscribe so I don't feel as bad about spending my money on mine coins. Now, I actually have a pretty hot take when it comes to the marketplace. I don't actually think it's that big of a deal. The majority of Minecraft maps, skins, and texture packs are free anyways, and it's actually a lot easier to import them because of their custom file format. Most players can completely ignore the marketplace and get everything they could want for free. This obviously doesn't excuse the lack of quality control Microsoft has put forward, but it's not the worst thing ever, and people are kinda exaggerated when it comes to this. But like I said said at the start of the video, I want to also go over the things I like about Bedrock. Firstly is the performance of Bedrock. It is insane. Even without any performance-enhancing clients, Bedrock runs far better than Java Minecraft can with Optifine or Sodium. My render distance is maxed out on 76 chunks, and my game isn't experiencing a single dropped frame. When it comes to performance, Bedrock wins, and it's not even close. Java is just so unoptimized and pretty much requires you to have third-party mods to run at a stable frame rate, while Bedrock can run max graphics on my 15-year-old phone. If you have a low-end device, you can run Bedrock with no problems at all. Playing Minecraft on 76 chunks while keeping a consistent frame rate above 100 just looks and feels incredible. It's one of the most satisfying experiences of my life, and I've had sex. I recommend everyone try it at least once. Now for my personal favorite part of Bedrock Edition, servers and PvP. I'm just gonna get a few things out of the way right now, because every time I ever try to talk about Bedrock servers, I always get people calling me a stupid moron, and that hurts my feelings. I have played many hours on all sorts of different Minecraft servers, Java and Bedrock. My opinions on this topic are just opinions and my personal preferences. Now get ready, because the hot take I'm about to spit onto your timeline is going to cause a ton of chaos and controversy. I think the PvP on the Hive's Bedrock server is the best PvP experience across both versions of Minecraft. Now hold your comments for just a moment and let me explain my reasoning real quick. I felt that up until recently, there was no actual good PvP server on Minecraft Java Edition. Hypixel is incredibly laggy for me and didn't work half the time. While on the Hive, everything runs smoothly, I never lag back, all of my hits register, and things just make sense. And while I adore Mindmen's PvP for similar reasons, there just isn't anything that really interests me on the server, as I'm not really into duels. Hive offers this smooth and good feel in PvP on multiple game modes that get hundreds of players. Hive also just has so much polish with 3D models and building. In my eyes, Java servers just couldn't ever come close to this. Now, my opinion on this has changed drastically with new servers like MCC Island and even more recently Hoplite coming onto the scene. These servers are incredible, and if you got a Bedrock player to try them for the first time, they tell you they feel like Bedrock servers. The mini games are fun, the PvP actually works, and everything just has the same polish I talked about on the Hive. I personally still prefer the Hive and its games over MCC Island and Hoplite, but I still recognize those as incredible servers, and there is no real wrong option here. If you're into PvP and appreciate the quality of those servers, I highly recommend checking out the Hive and giving it a few games. But now that we've gone over the things that I find to be bad about Bedrock, as well as the things I love, I think it's time that we revisit the initial question of the video. Why is Bedrock Edition so hated? And I think the answer to that is simply, it's just not Java. I was watching a couple of videos of Java creators playing Bedrock for the first time, and I heard the exact same criticisms over and over again. This thing is different, therefore, this thing is bad. The MCC Island players I talked to say the Hive is bad because they have to spam click and people take too much knockback, which isn't really a valid criticism of the Hive in my opinion. I think even if you dislike 1.8 PvP, the Hive is an objectively good minigame server for people who do like it. The Redstoners I've watched will try to make something that works on Java and then get mad when it doesn't work on Bedrock. They'll then call it bad because they just don't understand it. I love Bedrock Redstone and how straightforward it seems compared to Java. Also, being able to move chests is pretty awesome. From my perspective, it really seems like they don't like Bedrock because it's different from Java and not because Bedrock is broken or something. It just works differently, and that's okay. Why would you want the same game but again? Let things work differently. I don't want Java Edition on Bedrock. That just makes no sense. Listen, Bedrock has a lot of problems, and I recognize that, but so does Java Edition. These two really are just different flavors of the same game, and you just have to find which one is right for you. At the end of the day, people hate Bedrock Edition because it's different and not for them. I prefer Bedrock Edition because it is what's for me. I love this PvP, these mechanics, and most importantly, the community. Now, if you're sick of all this Bedrock talk and want to watch some of the superior version of Minecraft, then check out this Hoplite video right here. It's one of my favorites, and I think it'll help better my point of view on Java Edition.